call upon the chairperson of the Special Olympics, Dr. Matthew Posa. Thank you.
Saveni, Minister in the Presidency, Minister. I hope I'm not promoting. to eat with everybody, to study with everybody. As Judy will say from the Lotto, the playing field is not level. You remember the expression at Codesa? Now it's not level for the citizens. Yet far too often, this invisible disability has been ignored, overlooked, and underestimated. Today we say no more. It is time to shine the light on their abilities, their dreams, and their right to a life of dignity and respect. In Special Olympics, we don't say we have disabilities. We say we've got disabilities, which means we've got different abilities. Find them. Find those abilities. We have them. I'm very proud to announce that through the Ministry of Sports and the Ministry of Social Development, Special Olympics South Africa is one of the first signatories of the Special Olympics Global Coalition, a movement that calls for equal opportunities and full inclusion of people with intellectual disabilities. We are grateful that the Ministries of Sport and Social Development have pledged their support to our cause. But we believe that true inclusion begins with a commitment from the highest office in the land. That's why, Mr. Common President, it's very nice to be here with you. And we're very happy. It's nice, it's good, it's nice. We would welcome the opportunity to discuss this further with you, Mr. President, so that we can join other countries such as United Arab Emirates, Egypt, China, Panama, Angola, Kenya, Jamaica, Seychelles, and Ghana, who have pledged at the highest level of support the Global Coalition for Inclusion. As we stand here today, we want to share with you the Athlete Manifesto from our new global campaign. The revolution is inclusion. Did you hear? Yes. And then this manifesto will be read by one of the athletes. The revolution is inclusion. Come, he will read it.
Where must I read? What I start from? What's this one?
Read yours.
Read yours too.
Oh. Okay. We are not just athletes. We are ambassadors for uprising, peaceful protest, and ability against anyone who have fear of difference. Our demand is equality, dignity, and inclusive of sharing humanity. We are not just stopping. We will not stop or accept anything less. We are deserving. When we are competing, we fight for more inclusive world. We are champions on the field, and for this cause, today our world is more divided than ever. And coming together have more together never have more urgent. Urgent
You got it?
for the recognition, the revolution of inclusion, and is not an option. The only choice you need to make is how you join. How you will join.
See. Well, you heard for yourself. You saw how he was reading that. And thanks very much for acknowledging him. There are many like that. And we always have to deal with those issues. The issues of education, of health, of integration in the community. Because without the family, it's not possible to see through life. So we urge families to take responsibility with government. Our athletes want to be heard, and they demand inclusion, respect, equal opportunities. They declare that they are here to show the world their talents and abilities, and they deserve nothing less than our unwavering support. I also want to take this moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to those who have supported us on this journey. The National Lotteries Commission. Comrade Judy, thank you very much. You don't mind standing up. I'd like you to stand up. She's another one, Comrade President. When we have games, she attends. She just don't throw in money as solutions. She's there. It's very special. It's the first one again from Lottery to do it. I want to take an opportunity to express our words of thanks. The National Lottery Commission, thank you for your support throughout the years. Minister Zizi Kwato. Today you're going to leave here with my verbal trophies. Your support for the 2023 national team's participation in Germany is greatly appreciated. You know, Comrade President, I can't say about it, I'm going to talk about him. The morning when we were sending them off, he was going to Durban because he wanted to cover another event. He said, TG, can I please go and see the athletes alone?
He still calls you TG.
Yeah. Because he wants money, he calls me TG. I said, go, we are athletes. Deputy Minister Henrietta Bogopan and the Minister of Social Development, we thank you for your continued support in our mission. Thank you very much. Where is she? She's here. I can see you. African Bank, thank you very much. She's here. Come along, stand up, don't be shy. Now, the African Bank has become one of the main sponsors of Special Olympics in South Africa. We are very, very excited to embark on our journey with you. Additionally, I extend our thanks to the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health for their support to our athletes and our initiatives. Together, we can ensure that every child with intellectual disability has access to education and health care. Inclusion. In inclusion, I want to extend a challenge to the national government. Join us in the global coalition and be part of the inclusion revolution. And we can make a profound difference in the lives of millions of individuals in South Africa with intellectual disabilities. Let us work hand in hand to ensure that every person in South Africa, regardless of their abilities, enjoys the full spectrum of human rights. Human rights. We carried AK-47 fighting for human rights. Why do we betray these people with disabilities today? We have got a duty towards them. Thank you, Mr. President, for your visionary leadership and support. Let us move forward together, for as we say in Special Olympics, let me win. But if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. And we want to assure you, Comrade President, we are going to hold hands with you and all your ministers. We're going to work together. We don't see anyone as a superstar. No one can make it happen alone. We're going to work in partnership with government, partnership with private sector. We know how to do the mix. But you know, I want to say to you, Mr. President, I've done my part after the deployment. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, TG. So you've heard from and I'm sure the Premier had also. He said national, but I think he should have said also provincial. They are part of it. Having said that, I would like to call upon Ms. M. Taganyana, the team South Africa, the chef de mission.
I stand here today very proud of the progress that our organization has made.
Now we're going to call our gracious host, our President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. Over to you.
Thank you. Let's be seated, please. Thank you, Minister Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, who is our most able program director this morning. You have many talents, and this is one of them, in case you didn't know your own talents. Ministers and deputy ministers here present, and our Premier, of course, Panyaza Lesufi, and the chairperson of the Special Olympics of South Africa, my good old friend and comrade and fellow student and fellow, not only Christian movement, South African Students Organization at university, and fellow conspirator, Dr. Matthew Sposa, and the CEO of Special Olympics of South Africa, as well as the Chef de mission. Chef de mission, and members of the Special Olympics of South Africa board, the various coaches who are here and staff members, the athletes, more especially the athletes. I greet you better than everyone else. I must say this is a moment of great celebration and great joy to be here and to be amongst you. It is also a real special honor and pleasure to welcome Team South Africa to the Union Buildings. This is not my house, this is the house of South Africa. But then again, this may well be the seat of government of our country, but it is also the home of champions like yourselves. So this is your home, and more so because you are champions. We've had the pleasure of hosting a number of national teams at this place as part of our celebration of their achievements in various sporting codes. And they've come here either in buses, on a ticker tape parade. And for us today, this is even more special to have you as athletes who have represented our country, athletes who, as Dr. Posa was relating to us, face enormous difficulties and challenges. The 2023 Special Olympics World Summer Games, which took place in Berlin, in Germany, focused the attention of the world on the abilities of persons with intellectual disabilities. But I'm really pleased that our two ministers, Minister Dlamini Zuma as well as Minister Zizi Kodwa, were able to be there to set you off to go and win all those medals for us and also to receive you. We are extremely proud of you as Team South Africa, that you competed and in the end achieved the success that you have achieved. You are a formidable and phenomenal team. I know of no other team, and in fact we have never had a team that went out to play and brought back as many gold medals as you have. 22. But more importantly, competing against how many countries? 190 countries. Competing against some of the well-endowed countries in the world. You carried the South African flag and came back with 22 gold, 20 silver, and 7 bronze. Let's give everyone a round of applause. Now, what enabled you to achieve this success? What made it possible for you to achieve this success? Yes, I'd like to say it is the people of South Africa, the 61 million, but more importantly, it was your dedication, your perseverance, and your unwavering commitment to the sport that you have taken up, and how through your dedication you participated and shattered the barriers that once confined you to your homes. I will not say, under the bed, Dr. Posa, but that confined you. And now, with this, your presence here, you're coming out into the open. You're coming out and you are going to receive the full support of the people of South Africa and the government of South Africa. Now, I also need to thank Dr. Matthews Posa, and he's right in saying 19 years ago, our President Nelson Mandela asked me to take this task up, and I could find no one other than Matthews Posa who could take this task and run with it. I'm so proud, Matthew, that you've been at this for the past 19 years and you've achieved phenomenal feats. So we congratulate you. We ought to be very proud that, as he said, We started off with a very small team of people who could go into this sport, about 3,000 maybe so, and today 57,000. But we also know that there are millions out there who also need to be brought into the fold in terms of healthcare, education, and being well looked after. We are proud that Team South Africa flew the flag. And you are flying the flag for social inclusion and for the advancement of your basic human rights as forcefully and fully articulated by Dr. Posa. These human rights are the hallmark of our nation that we have built over the last 30 years. But you must feel that your basic human rights are being fulfilled. They are being respected. They are being upheld. And today the message has been communicated more than clearly that that should be so. Minister Dlamini Zuma brought me to a summit earlier this year where we were looking at people who are living with various conditions. And one of those is people living with intellectual disabilities. And today we're now looking at all of you as people with intellectual disabilities, but in the sporting fraternity. And that gives us a great deal of pride. But it also enables us to focus on how we can make you better. So that, what is the saying? Make me win? Make me win. If I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt to do so. That's precisely what we are going to do. We are going to try and make you win. Now, our country, through the efforts that have been made by all of you, Dr. Posa and others, we are honored to be one of the first countries to support the Special Olympics Global Leadership Coalition for Inclusion, which reflects our commitment. And this reflects our commitment to inclusion of people with intellectual disabilities in all areas of society. I can promise you that in the ministry and department that Dr. Dlamini Zuma leads, together with the deputy ministers, this is the focus. Team South Africa, you are heroes, and we can look up to you not only to celebrate you, but for inspiration. We want you to inspire us so that we are able to lift you up to higher levels, because what you have achieved is truly phenomenal. And you have been saying that you have never really received the recognition of our nation, and today you are fully 101, 150, 200%. You are now recognized more fully. Now, having Dr. Posa here just means that much as he has been involved in this process for 19 years, we would like him to continue. We want him to continue. Now, because of his work, he's also been honored recently at the 19th Special Olympics Africa Leadership Conference in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. Kore mfana githi so honoriwa le kontle. Now, this is great. The African region recognized the chairperson for his many years of service with the Special Olympics movement and for hosting the leadership conference in South Africa for 17 years in South Africa. With such a hard-working and distinguished captain at the helm of Special Olympics, we can only expect even greater things from Team South Africa. Our flag as a country is certainly flying at the ICC Men's World Cricket and Rugby World Cup, and we all know that the Proteas and the Springboks will draw inspiration from your achievement in Berlin. Now, Minister Zizi Kodwa has been continuously saying to me that I must keep the 28th of October open because he is taking me, whether I like it or not, he's taking me to Paris to go and lift the Webb Ellis Cup and bring it back home. Now, when we won the cup in Japan, I was there. And there is a moment when we have to inspire them and give them a pep-up talk and inspire them and tell them and read them the law that you are not to allow any of your opponents to cross the 22 line. You must just be a concrete wall. It mustn't happen like it did happen on Saturday. None of your adversaries must ever cross that line. But one of the things I am now going to be able to say to them, that we have Team South Africa of the Special Olympics that is sending you a clear message. Bring the cup back home. And I'll say to them, because they brought 49 medals, you only have to bring one cup. So our success in the Special Olympics shows that what happens when government and civil society, represented here by the Special Olympics South Africa, work together, including the banks, the Lotto, African Bank, and many others who have supported, we can ensure that we are indeed successful. So thank you very much to those who have supported the team to achieve these successes. It is your success in Berlin that has brought you to the Union buildings today, where all of us are excited to meet you as our stars. I don't think any other team was taken to their head of their seat of state like you have. I do think you are probably the only one. If not the only one, you are the only one today who has been taken to their seat of government. So this is truly a special occasion. This is a moment for celebration. So all of us who are here, ministers and deputy ministers, we are really overjoyed, and government officials, DGs and everyone. We are truly overjoyed. But you're also inspiring us to do more. And we will do more in giving you the support. Minister Zizi Kodwa is totally committed to do so. Minister Dlamini Zuma and our deputy ministers and other ministers are truly, truly dedicated. By the way, this is the first time we have so many ministers coming to a sporting celebration here at the Union buildings. So I just thought I should whisper to you that you are more than special. When you have so many ministers who drop whatever they were doing and cancel their trips to come here to celebrate with you, this is a big deal. It's a big deal. So, in the end, may our commitment for inclusion as a nation, you, our Special Olympics team, you have truly made us proud as South Africa, and you humble us, and we thank you from the bottom of our heart. Thank you very much for what you have done for our nation. Thank you.
And now we're going to have a special session that will be led by the Minister of Sports, which will be giving the certificates together with the President, the Minister of Sports. Uzizigodo. Yeah, he'll say something first and hand over the certificates.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. I thought I was not going to say something today, Mr. President.
No such luck.
I thought it would have been sufficient just to hand over a certificate this morning, Mr. President, not to say anything. But just to say, Mr. President, when I had an opportunity to be appointed, one of the first people I met was Dr. Matthew Posa, who called frontally, wanted to see me. And I must say, it is that 2-3 hour discussion that really opened my eyes about the evolution of sport in the country. And I want to thank you, TG, because something never occurred in me in the little time I spent with you that you had any interest in sport. But having spent 3 hours with you, I realized how much wisdom you have of sport. And I want to thank you for that, because what you did and what happens today was to give an expression to Timatiba expression that sport has the power to change the world. And I think with your support and the wisdom, it was about how do we use sport to make sure that we build inclusion? How do we use sport to make sure that we do away with discrimination and exclusion? So I want to thank you very much. Mr. President, I know this meeting has been in the making since July. With your busy schedule, Mr. President, we're really grateful as a department. We're grateful because I continue to meet a number of national teams, Mr. President. And one thing they say to me, there's something that inspires us when we see our leadership recognizing and acknowledging us. Even sometimes, as you say, you're going to do with me in France, okay, with me in France, because you can't leave me behind. So when I listen to them, whether you're talking about the incident of the passing of Clive Parker, there were a lot of stories how they won in 1996. They said when we saw Madiba, we felt like there's no way we can lose this game. Speaking to Siyakolisi, they will tell you that that's why we're even prepared to break our chins and lower jaws. Because it's not about winning, it's about where we come from. So it is an inspiration, Mr. President, to the country that you have time and make time to acknowledge and recognize success of young people who fly the flag of your country. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
I'm going to just call the names, no problem, and we're just going to give them. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, to hand out the certificates, we're just going to ask the head coaches of each sporting code, because we don't have time to hand out 93 certificates. So each head coach will just come up and receive a certificate on behalf of their team, and then we'll make sure that all the certificates, don't worry athletes, we are all getting a certificate, okay? So you'll all get one. But for now, in the interests of time, we're just going to have the head coaches come up. So first, head coach, Betty Kumaku from table tennis. Come on up, Betty. Anyone.
Because nothing's that
Standing here. Okay, you'll get your proper one, right? Tulisile Galela for golf. Mr. Harry Nakeng from basketball. Miss Gail Boller from swimming. Nana Mazibuku from ladies football. Confidence Maleka from athletics. Talita Nordia from equestrian. Coach Bonsi, male football, 7 aside. Ladies and gentlemen, just a note that our male football team won gold in the highest division at the World Games. And I can't separate these two, so Barry and Betty Davis, please come up for 10-pin bowling. Behind me here. You'll get your proper one. There we go. Yes. And then Coach Lucas Ndlovu from Boche.
middle center. See moving, right? See move. Everybody. Yeah. Beg for you, vote of thanks.
Now we're going to call upon Ms. Anse Smith for a vote of thanks. Thank you. But did you notice who the head coaches were? Did you see the gender balance?
Always. Thank you so much, Minister. I'm glad you noticed the gender balance. We're very committed on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Mr. President, all the distinguished guests, athletes, board members and staff, all protocol observed. I think Dr. Posa has probably done most of my job for me already today, which I appreciate. Just the final thank yous from my side. Really, I stand before you today with profound gratitude in my heart as the CEO of Special Olympics South Africa. I took on this role 6 years ago after a phone call from Dr. Posa saying, come to my office now and go and take on this job. So I also got seconded. But honestly, I would not have believed that 6 years ago we would find ourselves here today with this team at the Union Buildings. We are incredibly, incredibly grateful, Mr. President. This invitation, this honor that you've bestowed upon the 2023 Special Olympics South African national team is not only a testament to your unwavering commitment to inclusivity, but also a source of inspiration for us all. I know, I speak for myself and as the staff of Special Olympics South Africa, it can be incredibly hard work and very frustrating working for our athletes because we see them day in and day out working as hard, if not harder, than other athletes in the mainstream community, and they overcome many obstacles, amongst that the lack of support sometimes within their own families and within their communities. And today you have honestly, your support and recognition means the world, not just to these athletes, but when they go home, the effect on their families and communities. They will now be seen for their ability and not for their disability, and we cannot thank you enough for that. I know that there's already been a special word of thanks to the Minister of Sport, Mr. Zizikodwa, Deputy Minister Nkawu Mafu, who was with us in Berlin, Your support for the 2023 Special Olympics national team has been instrumental in the success of this team. Mr. Minister, thank you. Thank you for your team at National Department of Sport. I know Mfundo and Kolelwa traveled with us, and it made a world of difference to have them on the ground and for them to see firsthand what a Special Olympics World Games is. And they can testify that our athletes competed against over 7,000 athletes from across the globe and managed to come back with 49 medals. So it's a huge achievement. And I would be remiss if I did not thank the Deputy Minister of Social Development, Ms. Henrietta Bogopane, who is our self-proclaimed #1 cheerleader and has been supporting Special Olympics since I came on board. And thank you, DM, for always being there for us. We appreciate it. To all the other ministries that are here, health, education, you are so critical to what we do as an organization. It's not just about sport, but it's creating real change in the lives of people with intellectual disabilities. So we all need to work together to see that become a reality. Also, a massive thanks to Gift of the Givers, represented today by Dr. Kasim Borat. Gift of the Givers has been also supporting Special Olympics South Africa for many years. And it's their unwavering commitment to addressing the disparities in access to healthcare for people with intellectual disabilities that has brought them to being part of our national team, to traveling as our team doctors. Dr. Borat came under his own auspices to the Games to act as a second backup doctor for the team. Their involvement in Special Olympics and in our health programming really highlights this critical area